There is a push to change the rules about nudity on Evanston beaches. One council member says this is about gender equality.
Yeah, currently Evanston's public nudity ordinance prohibits the showing of female body parts. Joining us now is Evanston City Council member Devin Reed to explain what these changes would mean. Devin, you join us from the car there. We appreciate your time.
I'm heading into a city council meeting now, so my apologies.
Not at all. Important business to be done. Okay, so let's talk about this tweaking of the ordinance. Talk about the changes that are proposed here and the rationale behind it.
Yeah, well, the changes are part of a package of ordinances that I put forward that are meant to address issues of gender equality, check the constitutionality of some of our laws, and this was one of them that came up. Evanston is one of the few communities on the North Shore that has an ordinance that specifically regulates the female body in a way that it does not regulate the male body. And, you know, when you read the plain language of Article 1, Section 18 of the Illinois Constitution, the rights of women shall not be abridged in the state of Illinois. And I think that's more important than ever to stand up for the rights of women to have bodily autonomy, particularly with the decision that came down with the Supreme Court recently.
Councilmember, what would you say to people who might react to this saying, oh my gosh, they're going to have nude beaches, topless beaches all over Evanston?
Yeah, like I said, I think that this is about gender equality. This is about making sure that our trans neighbors feel welcomed in our community. As a member of the LGBTQ community myself, I think it's important that our trans neighbors, I've had women reach out to me who have gone through breast cancer and have had double mastectomies, and they have questions about this ordinance. I think all of that outweighs it. And as I said, many communities on the North Shore, Skokie, Kenilworth, Winnetka, Wilmette, those are all communities that do not have an ordinance like Evanston on the books. And so it's not happening there. I don't think it's going to happen here.
Devin, what kind of a response has this proposed change been getting among your colleagues on the council and Evanston residents?
Yeah, as I said, some of my colleagues, have some hesitancy about it. They wonder if our community standards have reached that point. And I do think it's worth having a real discussion about this. This is an ordinance that traces its origins back to the 1950s and earlier. I think we really have to review standards of morality with a fresh, modern lens in order to ensure that communities that have historically been left out of the decision-making process are a part of it. And in the early 1950s, women did not have the same rights and voice that they are able to exercise now. And I think it's time to revisit this and make sure that some court 100 years from now isn't looking back at Evanston's ordinance like the Supreme Court did, looking back at laws from the 1800s to justify the oppression of women.
All right, Evanston Councilmember Devin Reed, thanks so much for taking the time on your way to City Council to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.